#relationships. I've probably published over 500 minutes of videos where I'm talking to you about the dynamics of relationships. But if you've noticed, I don't actually talk about love itself. Why is this? Well, Peabo Bryson actually said it best. He said in 1984, somewhere in there, that when it's all been said and done, we don't have to talk about love. Your relationship and the success thereof is not based on how much you love your mate, nor is it predicated on how much your mate or someone loves you. Don't fall for that one. If it's on the totem pole anywhere, it's way down at the bottom, this love thing. I want you guys to get really, really good at the day-to-day functions and dynamics of relationships, the stuff that you actually have to practice getting really good at. Things like conversations, routines, habits, yours and the habits of your mate. Sometimes silence is a part of the practice. Knowing who you are, what makes you tick, understanding where your mate is coming from most of the time, and understanding that men and women are not the same creatures. We are as different as east is to west. And so, if you can get to a place to where you don't feel like you are having to over-explain yourself, or if your mate doesn't have to get to a place where he or she feels as if there's this over-explanation needed for some of the simplest things, I'm asking you to try to determine if you get him from a where he's coming from standpoint, and see if he gets you from a where you're coming from standpoint. That helps out quite a bit. And what I mean by starting simple, for example, if you want to be in a certain type of a relationship, go back to when you were a little girl or a teen, and in your mind's eye, you envisioned yourself in a certain type of relationship. What did it look like? What were you doing? What were you doing? What was your mate doing? What were you guys doing together? Were you out on the town quite a bit, dancing the night away? Were you eating out at the nice restaurants? Is that what you envisioned? If it's okay, if it is, just know that that's what it looks like to you. Or are you entertaining family and friends at home? Is that what you have in mind? Do you mind if visitors come over to watch the sporting events with your husband or your mate? Or does that annoy you? Does that put you out of your way to have people stopping by? And sometimes stopping by unannounced, family, friends, whoever. You have to take into consideration that you're not just choosing a person, but you're also choosing another way of life or another lifestyle. And you want to get down to understanding how the day-to-day mundane routine habits will work between you and this person that you think you might want to spend the rest of your life with. And I say that you think you might want to spend the rest of your life with because when you bring love into the picture, you might love, let's say, him. If I'm talking to women, you love him, but you're not all that excited about the way he lives. You might be a homebody. You might prefer more home-cooked meals. He might like to be out on the town. That may be taxing to you, or vice versa. He might be a homebody and you like to be out on the town, and you don't understand why he won't go out and spend time with you because that's something that you like to do. These are just simple things that just about any couple could or would have to face before entering into any kind of long-term commitment. Now, if you are struggling in these most simplistic areas, it's because of one of two things. A, you don't know yourself, or B, you're not being honest about which part of your heart that you would like to pursue. In other words, would you like to pursue the part of your heart that is really into the person? Or are you going to give more attention to the part of your heart that is in love with this way of life, this lifestyle, this type of home, or this type of, um, you know, taking trips and events and the whole 9 yards, the way of life, the lifestyle. Maybe you guys are incompatible in that regard, and you're expecting something to happen that is never going to happen. Again, it's not about love. If it is about love, it's about which part of the heart that you're pursuing. Are you pursuing the person, or are you pursuing a certain way of life? Because there are in some situations where you absolutely cannot have both. You can't have the entire package. You may end up choosing to spend time with an individual that you're not all that into emotionally, but you really enjoy the time that you guys are out, and you're a little bit confused about what to do because your heart may be wrapped around an individual that does not really quite live up to your standards. From a day-to-day standpoint, it's very important that you get that part figured out. So I want you to do two things. Your homework is to, number one, think about it. Think about it. Be honest about it. All right. And then number two, if you're potentially in a relationship, or if you're in a marriage, or let's say you've been in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and you guys maybe keep bumping your heads or spinning your wheels in these areas, then I want you to talk about it. So step one, think about it. Be honest with yourself. And then step two, go ahead and talk about it with your mate. But you might want to have an out loud conversation with yourself to make sure that you're saying your message is concise and clear. All right. Remember, I'm only here trying to help. I want for you what I want for myself. I want you guys to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want you to have a life of longevity along with fulfillment. But above all these things combined, I wish upon you guys many, many blessings. And as always, my name is Jay Jackson, and I am looking forward to your response.